Hi Kelvin, so this is just the quick tutorial video on how to access the website. So first of all, I've sent you an email, and on the email is a link and a username and a password. So for the username, just notice that you do have to put it in capitals. So you pop on, click the link, pop in your username and password, then click sign in. That will then bring you to this screen here. You can basically ignore everything and you just come across to the left where it says websites and click there. Once you do that, you'll get a preview of the website. Just click on that. Then you'll get another little preview for some reason. Just scroll down underneath that, and then you're looking for where it says Edit Website. Click on that. That will then basically load Bramble, which is the system I've used to build the website, and it will load with your homepage to start with. The first thing to say is you'll notice some strange symbols and some repeated elements, such as the slider. Basically ignore anything like that. They're just different elements of the site which are switched on and off for tablets and for phones. So yeah, anything that you don't think looks quite right, just scroll past and ignore it. So for example, this is the slider that appears on the computer version. This is the much taller slider that appears on the mobile version. So just scroll past anything like that, ignore it. It's all just part of the setup. Then every time you come to a text box, you'll notice it highlights in green, which then means you can then edit that particular section. It's the same for each other thing that you click, so you're able to then go in and make text changes much like you would a Word document. So it's pretty straightforward. Everything that you click, if you wanted to change the photo, you have to be a little bit careful with photos, because if you start putting portrait photos where there's landscape spaces, you can get into a bit of a mess because everything suddenly doesn't line up anymore. So I always advise customers, do all your text changes. If you're comfortable doing image changes and you've got something like Photoshop to help you resize them, by all means you can change the photos. So you would just click the photo, you click change image, and you drag your new photograph onto here, or you upload image that way and choose the file that way. You know, a lot of my customers don't really play around with images too much because they know I'm going to be able to size them correctly and also compress them so they load fast. So you know, you've got the option to have a try if you want to, and if you're more comfortable with me doing photos, I can make photo changes for you if you just email me any photos you want replacing. So yeah, every section you come to, exactly the same. You can click, you can highlight, and yeah, it's pretty straightforward. So you just scroll down the page, and again, you'll see repeated elements. So this will be the version on the computer, this will be the version on the phone, and they're just slightly different in terms of how they laid out and how they look. So yeah, pretty straightforward really. You mentioned about changing links, so I'm just going to quickly cover that while we're on this page. So anywhere you see a link, you can click it, and that basically tells you, so for this particular link, we're linking to the About Us page, so you would do that by clicking and choosing a page to link to. So if we decided actually we don't want it to link to the About Us page, we want it to link to a different page on the internet, for example, the best practice is to go and find the web address in full of where you want to link to. So for example, if it's my website, copy the entire address, and then where it says URL that you're going to link to, you tell it to link to this website, and you can say open that in a new tab. If we were happy with that, then if we're now going to click About Us, instead of linking to the About Us page, it's now going to link to an external website. If we were happy with that, we would hit save. Obviously we're not, so I'll just cancel that. But that's how you go about changing links. So again, click, and if you decided actually I don't want the About page, I want this to go to the contact page, you do that. And the link text itself, you could actually change that. So instead of it saying About Us, it says Contact Us, and then that would be linking to the contact page. So you can have a play around with that, but it's pretty straightforward, same as before, you're clicking. One other thing I haven't really covered is, if you get into a bit of a mess or a muddle, or you're not sure what you've done, you can always just exit without publishing. So because I didn't hit the green publish button, when I go back into the editor, everything is exactly as it was, and I haven't made any changes. And obviously, if you're making changes that you are happy with, you've got this green publish change button here. You click that, and then after about 60 seconds, when you go on the live website, if you refresh the page, all of your changes will then show. So yeah, that's very much the basics of how to get in and how to make simple text changes. At the very top here, you'll see where it says index. If you click on that, every single page on the website is fairly clearly labeled. So for example, if we wanted to go to the Meet the Team page, you click on that, and much the same as before, you click on here. If you decided this team member, for example, has left and you no longer want this section, over on the very left-hand side, you can remove the entire section. So if this person left, you could just remove them. And obviously you do have an undo button if you didn't mean to do that. Or as I said before, you can just exit without publishing the changes, so there's no damage done. My broadband is particularly slow today. I think I'm having work done, so yeah, I won't mess around too much. But yeah, basically that gets you into the website, making simple text changes. You can choose a different page to make changes to. Again, every page you come to, so again, we've got the slider repeated, scrolling down, making simple text alterations. Again, if you see a section where it's repeated, if you amend the top section and this is repeated, paste it over here to make sure that on the mobile version it's also amended as well. So every time you look for somewhere where it's a repeated section, if you change the top section, change the bottom section as well. Yeah, hopefully that's enough to get you started. Last thing to say is I have a lot of customers who play around with font sizes and change fonts. That's fine. Just bear in mind I've optimized this site so everything works on tablets and phones, and I've done that and checked it all. So if you do play around with font sizes, you may find that actually on a tablet or a phone, it impacts how that looks. So as a general, I wouldn't play around too much with font sizes, but by all means you can make any text changes. So yeah, if you need anything else in the meantime, just let me know. But to start with, at least it gives you access to the website and the ability to make simple text changes, change any links should you want to do that. And if you do need anything else, just give me a shout. Thanks for watching.